Welcome to Community Forum. My name is John Gogliettino, and I'm your host this evening. We're going to be talking about an interesting topic, exercising, staying in shape. I got with me this evening a member of the BNI group that I belong to, Mr. Ray Haiduk of Get Fit in Richfield, and we're going to be talking about the latest. So stay tuned, and I'm sure we'll have an interesting program. I want to welcome you to the show.
How are you? Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about yourself, since I am not good at reading off a piece of paper. In fact, I don't have too many comments here to make. How you got into this business, or what led you to this point? You told me some interesting points in the green room earlier, so we can talk along that line.
I'd be happy to. I've been in the fitness field for over 30 years. I started early on in my career, in my early grammar school career, as you might say, with calisthenics, physical fitness, gymnastics.
This is grammar school?
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew early on that I wanted to be into the physical fitness industry down the road, because I felt that it was going to extend life. Even early on in my life, at that age, I knew that. So what I did was I planted myself in front of different types of education type shows, and learned the body mechanics. And at that age, there is a tremendous amount to learn. So I put myself into the basic push-ups, sit-ups in school, and then branched off to my own type of exercises on my private time out of school.
And you invented some of the machines you use.
Yes, what I have done, and I welcome anyone to come, as well as yourself, John, to Get Fit and visit the facility. There is a line of equipment that I've designed myself early on. I started in 7th grade with my own line of weight equipment, and branched off from there to put myself through mechanical engineering school and designed more detailed oriented type equipment that is at Get Fit. So not only did I learn to exercise for my body, I decided to design my own type of equipment.
And to help others with your know-how.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's in line with what we try to do here.
Nice. That's very
try
nice.
to do here. So anyway, is there any difference in training, let's say, men and women? I know there's people out there that there might be a little sleepy, or depending on what time of day they're airing the show, that have that in mind. Is there a great difference, or are men more difficult and kick and scream a little more and sweat a little more and carry on, or what? Sure.
What I have noticed in my professional career is that men and women vary strength-wise, obviously, differently according to the nature of a male body versus a female body. But in any case, any one type person can apply themselves to an exercise program and succeed. My best type of client and success story would be someone who is willing to have an A+ enthusiastic type lifestyle. That allows me to take my job from point A to point Z. And that, what I mean by is, we can cover as many topics as possible. So,
in other words, you can be 100% effective as opposed to being maybe only 5 or 10% effective if they're resisting all the way.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, it's a roundabout way of putting it. What's the average time? I guess that's also part of what we just discussed, the average time to get somebody in shape. It varies, I guess, according to the population and the background. Right.
What varies, the amount of time that someone wants to spend on exercising is very crucial, because a lot of people have a certain amount of time. I recommend, with me, a minimum of 2 days a week, because that allows me to touch base upon their total body muscle groups twice a week, and then they can apply their homework and their diets on the off time. So I look at it that with me twice a week, I can keep them online and achieve a lot of their goals, and then we can always add another day or another 2 days. the more you can add in for the week, obviously the more result you're going to see. So I like to take something and start gradually and be very systematic in the progress.
So you're like going to school. You hand out the assignments, and then the students go out and do their thing, and
Right.
and you come back and give them another assignment.
Very, very similar to that, yes.
Oh, okay. How do you like that? Okay. The process, we heard about your earlier career, but we didn't get into the fact that you're a certified trainer. What's involved with a certified trainer? I mean, aside from the fact you already had basic training that was probably above what other trainers went through to get to that, you know, there's probably a course and...
Sure, absolutely. To become certified, there are a series of organizations that are involved with applying themselves for the type of activities in the fitness field. When I began, there were a few that you could just name. Now there are at least 15 different types of certifications in different fields because they've branched off. And it's nice to have that because everyone has a niche market that they want to gear themselves to. Myself, I've been involved with a lot of the basic 5 basic accreditations out there, and it involves going to school, taking courses, taking written tests, and then applying yourselves in the field. And like I said, I've been doing this over 30 years. So I've been involved with the study of exercise and physiology, as well as going through and writing my own types of accreditations and certifications. So.
Interesting concept I heard recently, and we did discuss this again in the green room a little bit, but
Sure.
we had a little time in the green room. And not that we had any cocktails in there or anything, but but the idea of working weights versus the traditional getting up on the machine and doing half an hour or 45 minutes on the machine. You got to do the cardio and cardio. They run cardio at you.
Sure.
You know, there's some people that think you 2 hours of cardio and 5 minutes of weights or something, or don't even bother with the weights. You know, it should be the opposite, shouldn't it? Or
what has happened now, the studies have shown cardiovascular activity is very important for our hearts. Very good for burning fat and existing fat on our bodies. But what has happened with that, there's a tremendous amount of impact and wear and tear on your joints. And as we have learned that resistance training, whether it's your own body weight, whether it's dumbbell weight, barbell weight, machine weight, or cable weight, you have to have some type of resistance to build increased bone density, and you'll increase your muscle tone on your body. So that is very important, and it has been seen now versus cardiovascular. Cardiovascular is important, but cardiovascular is also involved, a lot of people don't realize, with weight training. You just don't incorporate it for a long period of time. But if you incorporate your muscle training, your weight-bearing load exercise training in a fashion where you go for longer periods of time, where holding the weight on time-wise versus counting repetition-wise, you'll see a big gain and improvement on a total overall body.
so you could, let's say, do 10 pounds. Oh, that's sissy. I can do 50 pounds. Well, you know, that you hear that in the gym.
Sure.
But if you do 10 pounds and you do 20 reps or 25 reps and you're doing this, as opposed to the guy that's only doing 10 reps of 50 or something, you're doing more building in with that repetition or maybe a little more than that.
You're increasing your cardio, but you're building your muscle tone as well, and you're fatiguing the muscle, and that's a combination that works well, and you'll see a greater result.
Yeah, so we ought to do more of that as opposed to getting on the machine for an hour and
Sure.
and looking at CNBC or looking at the soaps. You look around and that's what you see
Sure.
people doing, you know, sometimes. Or they're talking on the phone, which annoys all of the people around them.
Well, what happens is the TV is a good distraction because cardiovascular activity is quite boring for a lot of people. That's one way to pass the time, but what's nice about incorporating the weight training as a cardiovascular type activity, you don't become bored. And that's the best part of exercising. If you find a way to be efficient in your movements and you're effective and you kick the boredom out of the equation, it is very successful all around.
Now, is it true that, you know, to a person that does 5 days a week, and it looks like I do, is it true that you could get by with 3 days of vigorous, I think you said you said it before, but
sure.
Just to reiterate, that you can get by with 3 days of intense workout that's not more than an hour?
Sure.
As opposed to doing 2 hours or an hour and a half a day, 5 days a week.
What happens is you can be most effective if you span your exercise out properly, and the more frequent you can exercise, obviously the better, versus compounding it into one day. If you spread it out, you'll achieve goals faster and you'll have more variety. And the whole objective is to shock your muscle in a way where you surprise it, and not in a way where it's painful, but you're surprising it in a way where you're changing up the routine so it can make changes. Kind of plateau busters.
What do you do? Well, maybe I should start with our example. We have we won't mention any names.
Sure.
But we have someone that belongs to our group,
right,
that I've seen go from, we said before what the number was, but I seen a significant change in his belly.
Yes, I know exactly who you're referring to.
And you could tell us the details.
What has happened is the best part of this person that I've been involved with is his enthusiasm. I have to say, the best thing and my best client, as I say in the BNI groups a lot, is my best client is the person that comes to my door. I can take it from there. You just have to get to my door. And what I mean by that is, if you are enthusiastic enough to make the effort to get there, we can incorporate a program that is an hour on the clock, but it won't seem like an hour because it's very involved, and I'm keeping your mind activated, but also working the muscles. And he specifically has done so well because he has listened and done great homework, and we keep tweaking the program so we perfect it and improve it, because there's a learning curve. A lot of times when someone isn't interested in exercising or hasn't been for the longest time and they decide to start and begin, there's a lot of initial change that you must go through. And a whole diet, incorporate weight training, cardiovascular, and finding time for all this. So that's the biggest plus, and that's why this gentleman has succeeded so well, and we make it fun.
I was going to ask you if you had any women with the same success, but before that, do you work with professionals like dietitians, or is just over the years you've incorporated that much and you have the literature in your own closet, so to speak, that you've got the dietitians covered, but you don't have the medical people, but I'm sure you got medical people that you work with also?
It's a combination of both. As you had just mentioned, the professional scale or people that I'm involved with throughout the years that I have kept in touch with, I've learned through my experiences as well as my own personal reading and experiences through clients and other professional experiences of doctors and nutritionists as well. So it's a closely knit group, and we keep in touch with everyone, and we share our stories, success or other, and learn that way. And so through that, it helps. So
you have a certain individual, and let's say you don't think he's quite making it a certain way, you might consult with a dietitian on that, or
absolutely
have him doing a medical evaluation because it's not responding 100%.
Well, yeah. That's what's important at our group at Get Fit. I am the only trainer there. I am owner, and my sister is the other part owner, and she's the administrative end. Her name is involved here. But I get involved with the personal end of training because that part of the business is so key, to sit down with someone and feel comfortable and share very, very important information of an individual that they would never discuss with anyone. So that's very crucial to my goals to help them. I set my goals to help every client, and I set their goals in ways that we can achieve things together. It's a combination of give and take. And you have to spend the time and the money, of course, but that's with anything, to achieve any great, great outcome. So.
Maybe you might have a few other examples, like the last one, a 48 pounds, I believe it was. That you know, he
48 pounds was a tremendous start, and that was in less than 20 sessions, and that's tremendous. I've had my greatest 148 pounds, add 100 to that. And when I show someone what a 100-pound plate is and how much it weighs, and I say, can you hold that to your chest and try to get in your car?
Carrying that.
They can't. They can't even get to the door because, and it's amazing that they say, I can't believe that's how much I lost. And when you look at it that way, it's amazing, and it's tremendous savings to your heart. You look younger, you feel younger. It's a benefit all around.
And you're going to last longer too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's the key.
That's exactly.
Yep.
So do you have a website?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You can. You know, might have additional information, and someone could.
Absolutely. We are on the Google site as well. Get Fit LLC is where we're located on 19 Danbury Road in Richfield, Connecticut.
Okay.
And that's what we, you can look us up there.
And there's information there. Okay.
There's a total website that we have, and that allows anyone to come in and see what we're about. It scrolls through our facility and shows each individual type apparatus that we offer, and gives a good rundown. And anytime the lights are on, we're there 7 days a week. I welcome anyone to stop by.
Okay. Any other words of wisdom? Particularly, we started touching on if there's the differences between men and women.
Well, getting back to that question you had mentioned, the training men and women, it varies because there's different weight requirements and different machines that are effective. But I use all the machines that I've created and all the machines that I have in the facility for both men and women. It's just we vary the weights, and I watch the machine carefully, and I vary negative resistance and positive resistance. So it's a constant, perusal of each activity. When someone comes in for 1 hour, I'm with that person for the whole entire hour, and I'm doing all the floor work exercises, whether it's ab work, twisting, sit-ups. I mean, if I have, say, 10 clients a day, and there's someone there and we're doing 1,000 sit-ups, I'm doing 10,000 sit-ups as well, because I'm on the floor doing them with them. Because I not only verbally explain it, I pictorially explain and show the whole key of the exercise.
You got to do a certain amount of the same exercise to show.
Right, exactly.
So if you have 10, that's a tiring day.
Well, that's a good incentive, and it helps me work out and enjoy the exercise, but I enjoy helping others succeed at what I'm trying to explain verbally. They can feel it as well, and they see the result.
Now, do you do camps and things? We can't, because of Comcast rules, we can't get into prices, but
sure.
Do you do camps for kids? And
I train a lot of different age group, varies from, say, 12, 14 years old, all the way up into 95, 96 years old. That's my range of age groups, men and women. A lot of students from schools, a lot of horseback riders, a lot of college students that I just recently took in because of the holidays now. They're back from school, so it varies. A tremendous amount of golfers, a tremendous amount of professional sports players, some
people that have injuries, weakness in the shoulders,
absolutely.
Weakness in the lower back.
Lower back, knee injuries, surgeries, hip surgeries, major shoulder, bursar, tremendous amount there.
You have that little pain that never goes away, and
right. We do a lot of activities of stretching and rehabilitation type work, homeopathic type movements. It varies. It's a tremendous amount. I also have an inversion machine that helps the spine and reduces a tremendous amount of stress to your joints, knees, ankles.
Is that the one where you hang off of it?
This one, you actually are on an angle, you strap your legs in, and I watch it, and you teeter-totter back into total vertical position. So it's very helpful. And you stay there for 30 seconds, a minute. Sometimes I'm there for 10, 15 minutes, and I do my sit-ups on that upside down, so it pulls.
And you depressurize. Exactly.
Yeah, it allows the fluid to pack between the vertebrae. Right now, you and I are compressing our vertebrae, and there's fluid that's packing, pushing out to the sides.
No kidding.
So That's what happens. So, we do a tremendous amount of great things at Get Fit, and I welcome anyone to come in, stop in at any time.
Right.
So
now,
we can.
Is there some exercises you can show right here without getting up and going all over the studio? We originally envisioned maybe doing a few.
Sure.
I envisioned doing some weightlifting, but I was going to take my jacket off. And
you were.
Wow. And you didn't bring.
Well, in answer to that question,
okay,
there's a tremendous amount we can do just on this platform.
Just a table,
but just sitting in this chair, for example.
But not lifting me up, that is. Yeah.
Not today. We won't do that.
Okay.
But in answer to your question, yes. Just a lot of people don't realize there's a tremendous amount of exercise routines you can incorporate with a simple chair, with your own body weight. I always say to my clients, if you can master the simple exercise called the push-up, you're in tremendous shape. A lot of people can't perform 10 push-ups correctly, let alone 25.
You're correct, yeah.
So, on that note, you can incorporate just taking your body weight and incorporate leg exercises, upper body. Obviously, certain exercises in the muscle groups need a machine for resistance because of the angle. It's hard to incorporate certain body weight exercises, but I say a tremendous amount can be incorporated with your own body weight. And simple dumbbell weights, okay? Sitting in a chair and just sitting here and just doing dips up and down like this. If you do them slow and you come up.
So you're in your office and you got a little stress.
Relief of stress. That's what it's exactly. And the key is always to go slow. Never let momentum come into the equation. Momentum is the enemy. Because it happens, it creates too much force in the other direction, and you're letting the weight come off that muscle, and it's taking a break. You want to keep the muscle under tension in both directions, and if you incorporate that, you have less chance of injuring a joint or pulling a tendon, hurting yourself, or even slipping off. Safety is the utmost importance.
So can you show us a few other things here?
Well, we can incorporate some of the push-up. I don't know how much this wire is going to allow me to move.
No, okay.
But you can even just
take chair, yeah.
Like this and squat down. You know, squat down and go slow. Exercises. The key is to go nice and easy. But getting back to these exercises here, you can even incorporate the dips by going down slow like this and breathe down. And if you just hold yourself, you can hold yourself to the point like this, where you can just even come off like this.
That's actually going on, folks.
And down, see?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Key is slow and safe. That's what it's all about.
I won't try to emulate that one.
I'd say be careful. Maybe a couple of more sessions. But that's the whole idea. If you go slow and you incorporate strength in a safe way, you'll have a great regimen. And you'll be able to be longer on our time frame. We can live to over 100. That's the goal. Over 100.
Yeah, well, the machine is supposed to be built to last to 120, but I think on average we get to 78, and a lot of that has to do with our good living, quote unquote.
What we're taking right now in form, water, is key. We need a tremendous amount of good quality nutrients in our body. That's the whole other aspect.
Not that soda pop that killed you before your time.
That isn't going to help us, unfortunately. Good water, good sleep. Sleep is important. And cardio. And all that combined helps us live a credible, good, strong life. We could live long on the scale, but are we able to have a good quality of life? That's the key.
Yeah,
to be able to get up and walk around and see and hear and have our faculties about. Sure.
Enjoy nature as opposed to
being part of nature in the wrong place. You're right. Okay. That's so true. So I've found that living healthy and exercising every day, it has extended so many good qualities. Prevents common cold from becoming a good friend. It helps your joints become very agile and less pains. Your positive outlook is important. That's tremendous.
Positive expectancy.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
All right. We've got a couple of minutes left. We were talking about the things Is there anything in particular that you vary the exercises? I think I already know the answer to this. From children to adults.
You have to be careful early on. You want to take some basic exercises because there's a growth stage that is continuously going in a positive direction. And you have to let the joints and ligaments and the bones take on their natural form. What happens is, that's why the calisthenics in schools was so important. When I was in grammar school, the gymnastics and just gym class was a real gym class. We were active, we did things. Now it's, this is the gym class.
Yeah, everybody's...
Okay, this is great, but we need something more than that. We need to keep physical and active. And obesity is just...
It's rampant.
Rampant. It's tremendous. And I remember when I was in grammar school, again, just thinking that there were less overweight kids in school. Now it's a shame.
It's like 2/3.
The numbers are increasing, and it's sad.
I'm looking around, and I can't believe sometimes I'm looking at kids go by, and it's like we're not like we used to look.
We're not as energetic. We're tired all the time, and tiredness doesn't allow them to perform in class, and thought process is often altered. So my biggest push is to help everyone. When I was going to school in college, I was going to either be an engineer or a doctor, a brain surgeon or a design engineer. I became a design engineer. But I feel now, I think about it a lot, I could have helped a tremendous amount of people, but I feel I'm doing that now. So I feel I've taken my engineering and my exercise program and helped a whole line of people extend their lives and help them. I have a tremendous amount of clients, but another client of mine has been with me for about 5 years, and he became a very dear friend, and he's been doing tremendous, tremendous work. First thing he said to me was, I want to be able to lift a certain amount of weight, and we started very low, and would you believe it? He's lifting exactly what I lift. We lift and work out together now.
My crew's waving goodbye to me.
Okay.
That means it's time to go bye-bye.
Pleasure. Pleasure meeting. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming on the show. And I want to thank the viewers for tuning in to Community Forum. Tune in next week, same time, same station, and I'm sure we'll have another interesting program. Good night for now, and we'll see you then.